Assalamu alaikum and a very warm welcome. I am Sidra Iqbal and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the first virtual graduation ceremony of PepsiCo Amal Youth Program. क्या आपको अपनी graduation ceremony याद है? वो एक्साइटमेंट, वो खुशी, वो जस्तजू कि फाइनली सारी मेहनत रंग ले आई, वो लेट नाइट्स, वो प्रेजेंटेशंस पे, असाइनमेंट्स पे काम करना। आज वो दिन होगा जब आप गाउन पहन के ग्रेजुएशन कैप लगाकर अपनी डिग्री वसूल करेंगे। एंड ऑफ कोर्स द लव दैट यू सी इन योर पेरेंट्स आइज एंड इन योर लव वंस आइज। साल 2020 ने बहुत सारे लोगों की खुशियों के रंग फीके कर दिए, ख़ास तौर पे वो स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने ग्रेजुएट करना था। बट fear not, we are here. आज इस वर्चुअल ग्रेजुएशन सेरेमनी में हम सेलिब्रेट करेंगे हमारे फेलोज़ को विद जस्ट एज मच फैनफेयर। आज का दिन हमारे लिए बहुत अहम है, बट द जर्नी लीडिंग टू दिस डे was equally amazing. So who made it all possible? PepsiCo, as you know, is a world-leading company when it comes to food and beverages. लेकिन क्या आप जानते हैं कि पूरी दुनिया में रोज़ाना 1 बिलियन दफ़ा इनकी प्रोडक्ट्स को इस्तेमाल किया जाता है in over 200 countries and territories. And of course, the vision, the ambition of PepsiCo is to become a global leader by winning with purpose. और यही चीज़ they'd like to extend through this program to the young people in Pakistan. When you have purpose, when you have the right skills and the mindset, then winning becomes a reality. So for winning with purpose, the right collaborators came up as the Amal Academy. इसके बारे में आपको बताऊं कि it was founded in 2014 at the Stanford University. And of course, PepsiCo collaborated with Amal Academy in 2018. And since then, over 3,000 students have actually benefited from this program. आज की इस सेरेमनी में हम ये देखेंगे कि किस तरह इस कोलैबोरेशन की वजह से दिस प्रोग्राम वेंट टू सिंध एंड खैबर पख्तूनख्वा। आज की हमारी ग्रेजुएटिंग क्लास ऑफ 1600 स्टूडेंट्स also has students from Gilgit-Baltistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir. And what is most amazing is कि अब इसकी enrollment में 40% तक लड़कियां यानी female participants होती हैं. But I'll tell you more about it later. Let's formally begin the show with the tilawat of the Holy Quran. इसकी सादत के लिए मैं यहाँ पे invite करना चाहूँगी हाफिज शफ अली को.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا الكوثر فصل لربك وانهر إن شانئك هو الأبتر صدق الله العظيم.
जमीन शादार ईश्वरे हसीन शादार तू निशाने अज़्मे आलिशान अज़्मे पाकिस्तान मरकज़े यतीम शादार पाक सरज़मीन का निज़ाम क़ुव्वते अवाम कौमुल सल्तनत पाइंदा
back. आप देख रहे हैं the virtual graduation ceremony of the PepsiCo Amal Youth Program. कहा यह जाता है कि इस वक्त जितने स्टूडेंट ज़ेरे तालीम हैं 60% of them are going to go into jobs that have not yet been invented. So our challenge really is to prepare the young people with the right skills and the mindset for an unseen future. That's where the Amal Career Prep Fellowship comes in. ये एक ऐसा 3 महीने का प्रोग्राम है जिसमें आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पे, आपकी पब्लिक स्पीकिंग पे, आपकी लीडरशिप स्किल्स पे काम किया जाता है. एंड लेट्स से सीइंग इज बिलीविंग. आप ज़रूर देखना चाहेंगे कि ये ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन और इम्पैक्ट क्या है. So let me take this opportunity of introducing a success story of our program to you. आपकी मुलाकात करवाते हैं अक्सा मुजफ्फर से. She is a graduate of the NED UAE. She graduated as a chemical engineer, but of course, confidence and leadership skills and the right communication skills make all the difference. इन्होंने participate किया इस program में. आइए इनके इस सफ़र में इनके हम सफ़र बनते हैं and let's see the transformation happen right in front of us.
Hi, this is Aksha Muzaffar and I'm from NED University of Engineering Technology. Actually, I belong to a middle class family where the student struggles while he or she is selecting their majors for the undergraduates. After the graduation, despite of the family support I had, I was actually struggling with that interview part. And I think जो youth को हमारी problem होती है वो यही वाली problem होती है कि they don't know what sort of skills the employer is looking for, and that's why they don't ace at the interviews and they don't get selected for the right position. And that's exactly what I was facing.
2018 में हमने एक सर्वे किया. सर्वे का जो पर्पस था वो था कि जो ग्रेजुएट एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी है उसको अंडरस्टैंड किया जाए फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉयर्स पर्सपेक्टिव. 212 कंपनी के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव ने हमें बताया उनमें से जो 78% है दे वर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद द क्वालिटी ऑफ ग्रेजुएट्स. और हमने जब उनसे पूछा कि आपकी क्या रीज़न है जिस वजह से आप सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हैं, जो टॉप मोस्ट रीज़न थी वो थी कि जो नॉलेज स्किल एंड एबिलिटी होते हैं ग्रेजुएट्स के वो उनके हाई ग्रेड्स को रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं करते. तो उसमें पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड, वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, टीम वर्किंग, सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस, ये चीज़ें टॉप पे हैं.
After completing my engineering, the biggest problem I faced was how can I make myself stand out of the crowd. Having the right set of technical skills isn't just enough. The recruiter is in search of more than this. They're expecting the graduates to have the right sets of interpersonal skills. When I came to know about PepsiCo and Amal Academy Joint Initiative, I immediately applied because I knew this was an excellent opportunity for me. And most importantly, how can I transform my weakness to my strong suit?
So I'll ask you again, and I want you to talk about something that is not on the CV. Yeah? Ready?
Yeah. Presenting what is best in you and delivering the right amount of information in front of the interviewer is what Amal taught me. पाकिस्तान में अमल अकेडमी जैसे प्लेटफॉर्म्स बहुत कम है जो स्टूडेंट्स को ये बताते हैं कि आपने अपने वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स पे कैसे काम करना है. एंड ग्रेजुएशन के दौरान स्टूडेंट का फोकस भी इन चीज़ों पे नहीं होता. ये इशूज स्पॉटलाइट में तब आते हैं जब आप ग्रेजुएशन कर लेते हैं एंड यू आर इन सर्च ऑफ द राइट अपॉर्चुनिटी. इन अमल अकेडमी वी हैड मॉक इंटरव्यूज, वी हैव टीम बिल्डिंग सेशंस एज वेल एज वी हैड द सेशंस ऑन हाउ वी कैन बिल्ड अ स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रोफेशनल नेटवर्क एंड एक्सिक्यूटेड अ प्रोजेक्ट इन अ सोशल कॉज. देयर इज नो पॉइंट ऑफ लर्निंग व्हेन यू डोंट डिलीवर इट टू द राइट पीपल. I got the chance of delivering to the less privileged people through Amal Academy.
Amal Academy is a non-profit organization with a vision of helping the youth of Pakistan and the Pakistani education system reach its full potential. We help these students develop grit, resilience, teamwork, leadership, and a belief in themselves.
I'll be very honest, before and even after the interview, I was very nervous because anger is the platform every engineering graduate looks at. After the interview, I realized that there was a great connectivity between what I was being taught in the Amal Fellowship and what was asked in the interview. I got the selection email after 2 weeks, and getting into Engro straight after graduation was a great achievement for me.
We get thousands of applications in every cycle, but we're never looking for just engineers only. हम उन candidates को prefer करते हैं जिनका skill set and confidence level ऐसा हो so that they pick up quickly and adjust to the environment.
It's been a great partnership with Amal Academy for the last 3 years. We have worked with over 3,000 graduates coming from all parts of Pakistan, representing over 135 towns and villages. Aksa is just one of the many success stories that we have out there, and hopefully we'll have many, many more going forward.
Today, I'm working as a graduate trainee engineer at Angro Vopak, and I would say, in getting a job at Angro, Amal Academy played a very important role. They polished my interpersonal skills, and I learned how can I perform better as an individual.
वो कहते कहते हैं ना, the future is female. I'm so happy to report to you that PepsiCo Amal Youth Program में 40% of the enrolled students are actually women. And what a heartwarming journey it was, जिसमें हमें पता चलता है कि leadership का future is all about compassion and care. How you can actually extend yourself to your communities. The future is so unpredictable. Who could have planned for 2020? और यही वजह है कि आपकी soft skills आपके काम आती हैं. Amal Academy helps the Pakistani students build their dreams. And with the support of PepsiCo, Amal Academy runs a 3-month-long career prep fellowship that helps the student become resilient, become positive, and have the skills that is going to ensure their success. आपको बताते चलें, the story is very interesting. This was put together by two important people, the co-founder Benji Williams and the CEO Ali Siddiq. Well, Benji could not be here in person today, but he sent a message for all our fellows all the way from New York. I'm sure the graduates are eager to hear from him. Let's see what the co-founder of Amal Academy, Benji Williams, has to say.
Assalamu alaikum, Amal fellows. I hope you are all doing well and healthy and feeling thrilled about today's graduation. I wish we were all together in person, but certainly are together in spirit. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is Benji doing in the forest? Which is a great question. The year has certainly been one of hardship and pandemic for so many. And for me, it has also been a year of transition as I moved back to the States, to New York, and also moved into a new role at Amal Academy, where I'm focused on developing the team, helping with strategy, and also exploring new projects. And the main project that we've been exploring is forest restoration and forest protection as a way to slow down climate change. And I've been spending a lot of time in the forest and learning a lot, and so I thought I could share some of the lessons that we've been learning, which might also apply to you as you transition out of the Amal Fellowship. And so the first lesson is really about the forest as an ecosystem. My fascination with trees actually began in Lahore with the banyan tree in Lawrence Garden, and really throughout Lahore and Karachi and other parts of Pakistan. I'm sure you know this tree better than I do. It's the one that has these aerial roots that grow down from the branches, and once they hit the ground become sort of additional trunks. And so you might have one banyan tree with 50 or 100 different trunks throughout the whole tree. And so I started asking as many people as I could about this tree. Like you, I went online to learn about it. I found books, and one of the books was called The Hidden Life of the Trees, which I found, I think, in Readings or The Last Word. And in that book, I found out that a tree in a forest has a chance of growing twice as big and living twice as long as a tree in a park or along the street. And the reason is a couple of things, actually. First, the root system of trees in a forest are all connected, and they're sharing resources or nutrients like carbon, like nitrogen, like different pathogens that are necessary for growth and longevity. The second is fascinating, which is volatile organic compounds. Trees communicate to each other through these VOCs. And so one tree that might be infected by insects could send out these VOCs or these chemicals to other trees, which would alert their defense system, and then they would produce the chemicals themselves that are necessary to fight off the insects once those insects reach that tree. The third thing, and perhaps the most fascinating, is this almost invisible fungi network underground that connects even trees from different species together, not just through the roots, but through this fungi network that connects the roots with other roots from other trees. And so you might have, say, an oak tree sending resources to an elm tree or to a redwood or to even a banyan tree, which is this kind of inner collaboration of a forest as opposed to the competition that scientists forever or for the longest time thought existed. And so the application to you and to the fellowship, of course you think of Amal family and your PA and your PM and your fellow fellows, but my encouragement is to think of the entire ecosystem of the fellowship, the Amal team, the 5,000 plus alumni, the PepsiCo team, all of these different people and resources that are now a part of your ecosystem. A tree in a forest has a chance of growing twice as big and living twice as long as a tree in a park or along the street. To think about your career as an ecosystem or as a forest, and instead of thinking of competition and people who are competing for jobs for you, how can you perhaps help them, share your resources with them in a way that will make them stronger, might somehow make you stronger or be paid back in the form of help later on down the line, and even if not, just help make the entire ecosystem more resilient and stronger. My encouragement is to return to your roots, which I mean sort of metaphorically, as in return to your roots, your ancestors, but I also mean quite literally to the roots that are underneath you and in many ways that are inside of you. This is, in my mind, why Idisab is so effective, is because he had that indigenous knowledge. He believed in himself. He believed in the lessons that life taught him, and he didn't listen to all of the people around him who told him he was foolish or he was crazy or he was doing things the wrong way. But he was so strongly rooted in himself. And in many ways, this is the advice or the encouragement that we gave at the beginning of the fellowship, when we said that the fellowship isn't really about teaching you anything. It's really about helping you discover what's already inside of you and bringing that out. This process of self-discovery, of becoming who it is that you are, of removing all of the masks that society tries to put on you and helping you identify who it is that you really are and who you want to become. I know it's difficult. I know it will be really hard. It's a lifelong process, but I hope that you remember we're here to support you. We're part of your ecosystem. The Amal team, the alumni, your fellow fellows, the PepsiCo team, this entire ecosystem is here to support you. And lastly and most importantly, I hope you remember that a forest is made from just one tiny acorn or one tiny seed. And you are that acorn and you are that seed. We believe in you. I know you believe in yourself. We're wishing you the best journey full of learning and lessons and growth and even some setbacks, which hopefully you will also grow from. And inshallah, the journey will be meaningful and you can find meaning inside of that. Godspeed, wishing you all the best and hope to see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
So today is a big day for us, for not just our fellows and graduates, but for all the people who've made it possible. Of course, for the Amal Academy as well. If I would now take this opportunity to invite the CEO of Amal Academy, Ali Siddiq, to join me and speak on this wonderful occasion of the graduation ceremony of the class of 2020.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear fellows, it gives me immense pleasure to be standing here today to congratulate you on completing the Amal Career Prep Fellowship. It makes me immensely happy to think about how each and every one of you has taken ownership of your own lives and beyond that of the community in terms of going above and beyond, not just to push yourselves to enroll in the fellowship and complete the program, but also take care of the communities around you. Today, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about how we can continue this path of having an impact going forward. But before that, I want to take a minute to just pay some credit to some folks that have made this absolutely possible, made it possible for the 1,600 fellows that are graduating today in this time of so much difficulty to graduate, to complete the fellowship. First and foremost, the Amal team, hats off to you. You guys have been an immense source of inspiration for myself and I'm sure for all of the fellows. Thank you so much for all that you do. And secondly, I'd also like to pay thanks to our partners at PepsiCo who have helped us expand the reach of the program to where it is all over Pakistan today. On to the stories. In 1955, a young black woman named Rosa Parks, she was sitting on a bus in the town of Montgomery, Alabama, and she refused to give up her seat when a bus driver asked her to give up her seat to a white man who had just boarded the bus. Now, Rosa Parks took a stand for something that she believed in. What happened thereon was that she became the start of a movement of civil rights across the US. Now, bear in mind, slavery had been eliminated or rather abrogated from the US 90 years before this, yet racial discrimination was just not just rampant, it was entrenched in the entire structure, social structure of the United States. This small act of defiance that Rosa Parks took led her to lead this movement where 18,000 black civilians, citizens of that city, refused to board any public buses for an entire year. The whole protest ended when the US Supreme Court eventually decided that such discrimination was beyond the Constitution. One person taking action on something that they held dear to their heart. And what did that do? That changed the trajectory of human history. Another example. Greta Thunberg was a 15-year-old in Sweden, and she decided that enough was enough with her government and the governments around the world not doing enough to combat climate change. She decided to do what she could. She skipped school on Fridays and went and started protesting outside the parliament every Friday with a sign that read, "School strike for climate." Within a year and a half, I mean, this is a very small step, but within a year and a half, she was at the forefront of a movement of school strikes across the world, with over 1 million school children across 130 countries coming together to strike in unison on the same day. And what did that do? It launched not only a movement that let her talk be heard, her message be heard by world leaders, but it also has accelerated the movement towards a more carbon neutral future, with the European Union moving to the Green Deal, largely in part of Greta's small step. And I'd be amiss not to mention another local example, that of Edie Saab, whom we all know and love dearly. The work that he's done, the decision that he made, that he is going to take action on a very specific thing that he held dear to his heart, has impacted tens and millions of lives and continues to do so well after his passing from this world. Dear fellows, why am I talking about this? What is the relevance here? You guys have already exhibited amazing leadership and amazing ownership of, as I've said, not just your own lives, your own futures, your own careers, but of those of the community around yourselves. You've raised tens of millions of rupees for Edie Foundation. You've participated in mega projects that have impacted tens of thousands of individuals and continue to impact tens of thousands of individuals. You are no less than Rosa Parks, you are no less than Greta Thunberg, and you are no less than Edie Saab in terms of your ability to make an impact. You have the power, you have the potential, you are no less than anyone at all. So with that, dear fellows, remember, today is yours, celebrate it. Congratulations once again on the amazing accomplishments, on the amazing journey that you guys have covered so far, on the amazing impact that you guys achieve. Today is yours, and remember, so is tomorrow. Take ownership of tomorrow. Make what you want of tomorrow, and make sure that you take ownership of tomorrow. Congratulations and Godspeed. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
The PepsiCo Amal Youth Program provides our graduates with this wonderful opportunity of developing lifelong skills, skills that otherwise take many years on the job. Supporting the youth is an integral part of PepsiCo's With Purpose agenda. Be it the arena of sports or music, PepsiCo is always striving to creating more opportunities for the young people to learn, grow, showcase their talent, and truly achieve their true potential. The PepsiCo Amal Youth Program has the same intent behind it. And now let me take this opportunity of inviting the CEO of PepsiCo Pakistan and Afghanistan, Mr. Furqan Ahmed Saeed, for a conversation about PepsiCo's vision for the program and the graduates. Hi Furqan, welcome to the graduation ceremony. First of all, how does it feel to be talking to the students at the third graduation ceremony of PepsiCo Amal Youth Program?
Thank you, first of all, for inviting me. It feels absolutely great to be part of this ceremony. Of course, we would have liked for this to happen in person and for us to meet some of the graduates, but unfortunately, due to COVID, that may not be possible this year. However, I'm still very excited because it lends itself to great opportunities for the youth of Pakistan, and from what I've gathered, meeting some of them, they are extremely passionate, they are motivated, energized to go and prove themselves, and I'm really excited about what they can potentially do for themselves as well as for the country.
How it all started. Why did PepsiCo choose to collaborate and support this platform?
So as you know, Pakistan is one of the youngest countries on planet, so goes without saying that we have immense potential. Opportunity manifested itself in a few stats that we came across. And one of those stats was that almost 74% of the employers were unhappy with the quality of graduates coming in. And at the same time, we saw a lot of unemployment in the country. So there was clearly a need to bridge the two, where we could get our graduates to be ready for workplace. And that's a niche that we thought we could really work on. And in that quest, we reached out to see which partners we could work with. And fortunately, we found Amal Academy, and we've partnered with them for the last 3 years.
So is the program achieving its objectives and meeting your expectations?
It's actually exceeding the objectives that we set for ourselves. At the time that we started the program, we thought we would be lucky if we are able to reach 1,000 people. You know, we also thought that once people graduate, not a lot of people want to invest back into their own capabilities. People want to go out and work. But we were actually surprised by the response, where people were very willing to commit to their learning even after graduation. And we had so many more applicants that we had to screen applicants based on the capacity of the program that we had. But we've been able to reach out to many cities, many districts, and we've been fortunate to work with associates from over 135 towns and villages across Pakistan. I'm also very proud to share that 40% of those graduates are actually females. And also that we are now broadening our network by working with a larger set of partners. We've already established a relationship with 16 plus educational institutes, colleges and universities, and we are continuing to broaden the network as we expand the program. Another very important aspect of this program is that it allows our graduates to be part of real projects that impact the society positively. And I'm so proud to share that based on the various projects that these associates have done as teams, we've been able to impact over 21,000 people positively across Pakistan. So it's not just about the people who are coming into the program, it's the overall social impact, which is much broader than just the number of people coming into this program.
So at the graduation ceremony, what advice would you like to give to the students?
Well, there are 2 or 3 things that come to my mind. First of all, just a small reminder that it's not a dash, it's not a 100-meter race, it's a marathon. And one of the best models that I've come across for thinking about careers is this whole model around learn, earn, return. So the first part of the career needs to focus on learning, acquire new skills. What is a reality is the fact that a lot of people will have degrees similar to you. For you to be able to stand out you have to go the extra mile. You have to do something else. You need to have some skill or capability that differentiates you from the rest. And that can only come through a mindset of learning and really becoming a lifelong student. The second thing I would say is as we grow up in fairly homogeneous environments. You know, we go to schools, colleges, and the friends we have also gone through to similar schools, similar colleges. We grow up hanging out with them, playing with them, and so we get used to working with people who are very similar to ourselves. But when you get to a work environment, you have to work with people who are very different from you, who come from different diverse backgrounds. And at the end of the day, your success will really depend on your ability to work with people who are different from you, to be able to effectively work in teams, to be able to inspire people who are different from you. And that's a trait that I think will become extremely important as you get into your careers and look to grow in your careers. So those would be the 2 or 3 things I would like to share with the audience today.
Thank you, Furqan, for being here with us. You spoke from the heart, and I'm sure you had a positive impact on all the students and graduates of this ceremony. जी जनाब, अब वक्त हुआ है हमारे कुछ स्टूडेंट्स से मिलने का. How about we hear from our students of what their experience about the program was like? Let's hear it out. So now let me introduce our 3 students who will be participating in our discussion today. First and foremost, ये हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं अवैस जुबैर. Awais has excellent presentation skills and leadership qualities. Next we have with us Hadia Aziz. Hadia अपने आप को shy कहती हैं, but this program gave her the opportunity to work on her confidence and her communication skills. Last but definitely not the least, हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं अबीरा लतीफ़, who was attracted to this program because she wanted to work on her communication and her productivity. So let's dive into this conversation with our students. मेरा पहला सवाल अवैस चलें आप ही से पूछ लेती हूँ. How excited are you about the graduation ceremony?
Very much excited for this day. Like it's a very big day for me. और इतने दिन की मेहनत अब finally एक end पे आ गई है, तो it's a very big day for me.
Was there a particular thing that attracted you कि हाँ मुझे इस पे काम करना है?
या बेसिकली मेरा फोकस बहुत ज़्यादा ख़राब था. मैं कुछ चीज़ें शुरू करता था और कभी एंड नहीं हो पाती थी, वो बीच में मैं फोकस लूज़ कर देता था. तो आई स्टार्टेड कि मैं फोकस कर सकूं चीज़ों पे, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आई हैव कंप्लीटेड मेरा एसईओ का कोर्स मैंने कंप्लीट किया विद इन एन ईयर ऑफ अमल फेलोशिप प्रोग्राम. या
हादिया, मुझे बताओ कि यहाँ तो आई एम सीइंग यू एज दिस ग्रेसफुल कॉन्फिडेंट यंग गर्ल, but you consider yourself to be shy. So tell me, how did the program transform you?
जब मैंने अमल स्टार्ट किया था तो आई वॉज वेरी शाय, बट नाउ आई एम मोर कॉन्फिडेंट अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, एंड यू कैन क्लियरली सी कि मैं इतने बैठी हूँ. सो मतलब अमल हैव ट्रांसफॉर्ड मी समथिंग beyond my expectations.
Abira, what was the biggest surprise in the program? जैसे हम हो सकता है कई कॉमन गलतियाँ करते हों अपने आप को मैनेज करने में, कम्युनिकेशन में, लेकिन आपने इस प्रोग्राम के ज़रिए सीखा कि ऐसी सिचुएशंस को कैसे हैंडल करना है. Any surprising information?
The biggest surprise I got was learning something as small as giving good constructive feedback to learning something as big as giving an interview in a firm or corporate section. So giving feedback is something I really used to struggle with before, how to give constructive feedback to someone without hurting them. So that was the best thing I learned from Amal as well.
तो हादिया, अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि the mega project, how did that change your life or how did that change your perspective, तो आप क्या कहेंगी?
ओके, सो जब हमारे मेगा प्रोजेक्ट्स के ग्रुप्स बने थे तब कोविड सिचुएशन नहीं थी. हमारा आइडिया डिफरेंट था, बट बाद में कोविड सिचुएशन आ गई तो हमें उसी टाइम ही अपना जो आइडिया था वो चेंज करना पड़ा.
सही.
सो इट वाज द फर्स्ट, जो सबसे बड़ा जो चैलेंज था हमारा ये था कि हमने सोचा हुआ था हमें कोई और अपना आइडिया लेके आना था. और क्योंकि कोविड सिचुएशन की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा वो लोग जो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट हो गई थी और बहुत ज़्यादा लॉकडाउन भी लग गया था, जिसकी वजह से लोग जो थे स्टार्विंग कंडीशन हो गई थी पाकिस्तान में. तो हमारा जो मेगा प्रोजेक्ट था वो इसी बेस पे था कि हम जो हैं मतलब जो फूड प्रोवाइड करते हैं नीडीज़ को इसको. और इट वाज अ ट्रेमेंडस एक्सपीरियंस, मतलब इट वाज ऑसम. मैंने इतनी करीब से इतना सब कुछ, मतलब लीडरशिप स्किल्स, अपनी हर स्किल कहते हैं ना, आपने वहाँ पे पॉलिश किया अपने मेगा प्रोजेक्ट में, चाहे वो कॉन्फिडेंस हो, आपके डिसीजन मेकिंग हो, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग हो।
अबीरा, आप क्या कहोगी? प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग, डिज़ाइन थिंकिंग, इनोवेशन, ऑल हैपनिंग एट वंस, वाज दैट डॉन्टिंग या इसको कहोगी कि एक्साइटिंग था?
It was daunting at first, but then we had help of our PA and PMs and the amazing Amal faculty and Amal fellows. So it became excited later on, and we are really glad that we learned so many things from it.
मुझे ये बताएं, अवैस, ये सवाल मैं आपसे करना चाहूँगी कि what would you want to say about your faculty, जो आपके ट्रेनर्स थे, टीचर्स ने, जिन्होंने आप लोगों को ग्रूम किया, उनको आप लोग किस तरह याद रखेंगे ज़िंदगी में?
बेसिकली बहुत अच्छे से, मतलब हमारे टीचर्स हमें एक कोर्स वर्क दे रहे थे कि हम बचपन से खेलें, एक तरह से हमें क्लास में बताया जाता है कि यार ये किताब है, इसको पढ़ लो और इसको जाके अपने पेपर में इसको लिख देना है।
सही।
मेरे ख्याल से मुझे पर्सनली पहली दफ़ा ऐसे टीचर्स मिले जो वाकई मेरी सेल्फ ग्रूमिंग के ऊपर फोकस कर रहे थे और मेरे पे फोकस कर रहे थे। मैं क्या सीख रहा हूँ वो फोकस कर रहे थे, मैं क्या रट्टा मार के आके पेपर में क्या लिखता हूँ उस चीज़ पे फोकस नहीं कर रहे थे।
अबीरा, ये आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी कि there are so many students across Pakistan who watching you right now, और हो सकता है आज वो पहली दफ़ा पेप्सिको अमल यूथ प्रोग्राम से इंट्रोड्यूस हो रहे हों, तो आप उनको क्या मशवरा देंगी? Would you recommend this program, and if so, why would you recommend it?
I would recommend this program to everyone, and I've been doing it already. I've been recommending this program to everyone I meet in my hostel, in my university, because I know it sounds cliche to say that something is going to change you and transform you entirely, but it's so true because I've felt some changes in myself. For example, I always struggle to be in front of a camera, but right now I'm in front of a camera. It's not as scary as before. So I would say that everyone should apply and everyone should indulge in this to grow.
Well, thank you so much, Hadia, Abira and Awais. It was such a pleasure to talk to them. आपको इनकी बात सुन के लगा होगा कि वाकई अमल प्रोग्राम ने जो इनका मसल है ना कि भाई रिजेक्शन आए, प्रॉब्लम्स आए, सिचुएशन बदल जाए या फेलियर भी आए, we will keep our mindset positive और हमें अपनी स्किल्स पे और अपने आप पे एतमाद है। So in this segment, let's meet some of our other graduates who couldn't be here in person, but let's hear about their journey, their experiences, and of course their transformation through this program.
My name is Ismail Shah. I am from Sawabi. I am currently in my last year of BBA Honours from University of Peshawar right now. Before stating my experience, I want to thank Amal Academy for giving me the opportunity to have the best 3 months experience of my life through this journey. I have had a lot of experiences. The best thing was the diversity. There were students from the different parts of Pakistan having different backgrounds, and it was pleasure to listen to them all. One of the major experience for me would be I feel less shy after the fellowship in speaking in public, because that fellowship gives you the boost and made you talk in front of the students in almost every session, and then you have to talk in your learning groups as well. So that lessens the phobia of speaking in public as well. Lastly, I want to thank Amal Academy for giving me the opportunity and have the best experience of my life. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Sadia Mukhtar, working as an assistant director KP Food Safety and Halal Food Authority. So right from the interview day of Amal Academy, I was pretty sure that this learning platform, which is actually meant for our professional and personal development, it is going to make a good impact on my life. And this is what actually happened. This is exactly what happened. All these learning opportunities that Amal Academy is providing guarantees for sure a promising future to the youth of our nation. So if you all have found my story encouraging, I would encourage you all, particularly to girls from Peshawar, to come out of their comfort zones and definitely apply for the fellowship and dive into this amazing life-changing experience. Your bright future is awaiting for you to take a step and amal on applying.
I am Abira Lateef. I am an Amal alumni of batch 155. Currently, I am in 5th semester of Bachelor's in Applied Psychology, which I am pursuing from Punjab University. I am originally from Bahawalnagar. I attended Amal classes in this quarantine and they have changed my life a lot. From teaching me how to deal with procrastination to time management in an efficient way, Amal has made a lot of difference in my life. I really struggled to network with people and I was really shy before. And I was also camera shy, and it took a lot of courage to actually be able to make videos in front of camera. But I'm really glad that Amal changed all of these things in me, and I have seen a positive change in myself. Thank you so much.
Joining us today is a very special guest. She co-founded Rwanda's first microfinance institution before launching the groundbreaking impact investment and activist platform, Acumen. 19 years in, Acumen has helped build more than 128 social enterprises across Africa, Latin America, South Asia, and the US. She sits on the advisory council for the Harvard Business School Social Enterprise Initiative, the Oxford Said Global Leadership Council, the NYU Stern Center for Business and Human Rights, and also the UNICEF. Her best-selling memoir, The Blue Sweater, it challenges leaders to grant dignity to the poor and to rethink the engagement that they have with the world. In her new book, which is called The Manifesto for a Moral Revolution, she offers a revolutionary lens on leadership, activism, social responsibility, investing, and calls us to play a more active role in reshaping the future of the world that we live in. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's welcome our keynote speaker, Jacqueline Novogratz.
Assalamu alaikum. I couldn't be more excited to be here to celebrate Amal Academy's 2020 cohort of fellows. Thank you, Ali Sadiq and Benji Williams, parents, friends, supporters, partners of Amal, the incredible Amal team, for gathering to celebrate this amazing group of individuals. And mostly to you, the class of 2020, I take my hat off. We know that our current institutions have run their course. We're more unequal, divided, and divisive than ever in my lifetime. We know we have to reimagine the institutions. Yet, we don't have a roadmap. Moral leadership, therefore, starts by redefining success. Building a framework that puts our shared humanity and the sustainability of the earth at the center of our systems, not just profit. Now, building that world that we all need to be a part of isn't going to be easy. That also is why moral leadership is so important. And as I've said, you're already on the path, because you're already practicing the first tenet of moral leadership, and that is to just start. To let curiosity guide you and have the courage to take a step towards solving a big problem, taking on a big task, and then letting the work teach you where you next need to go. As I made steps, I could build the next building block of what then would become Acumen, the organization I run now. And we were early in our tenure, investing in companies that were solving big problems of housing, healthcare, education, energy, agriculture, when 9/11 hit. I live in New York City. That's where Acumen's global team is based. It would have been easy at that point to pull inward. Everyone I knew was doing that. But to me, this was a moment to reach outward. Go to those places where people in my country had fear. Understand what could be built. And it was really interesting. When we made a decision that we would work in Pakistan, I had a moment of real doubt. And I asked a wise older man, was I crazy to think that we could go to a place I'd never been, I knew very little about, and actually bring the patient capital acumen model? And he said to me, you know, Jacqueline, when everyone's running away, that's often a moment to run towards something. And if you dare to go and then stay, You may know more than most anybody outside. Now, the Jesuits have a really powerful saying. They say, go to where your heart's deepest yearning meets the world's greatest need. You may not have any idea where you ultimately will find your deepest sense of meaning or purpose. The world does not need us to sit in our corners fearing each other. The world needs us to lean toward each other, build understanding, offer places where we personally can make change, or at least try. And it doesn't matter if you're working in a corporation or an NGO or a government ministry. What matters is that you be part of the change. If you see a place where you can help, hold up your hand, make an offer. Amal's already given you great tools and practice. I loved hearing from some of the 2020 fellows when you wrote about a task that you'd been given to raise money for Edie Foundation. Now, none of you had raised a lot of money before, and suddenly 40 of you had to find a way to work together, come together, raise money, ask people. All of that is hard. And yet, you did it. You raised 150,000 rupees for people who had been really hurt by the floods. Just think about that. Now you can build on it. Because that's the thing about courage, it's like a muscle. All of us are born with some kind of courage, but none of us have courage in all parts of ourselves. When I was young, the idea of speaking publicly was so terrifying that in my first speech in 7th grade, I literally fainted. I would shake like a leaf, not just in my teenage years or even my 20s. I think it was probably about the time I turned 40 where I started to get comfortable. And it didn't happen magically. It happened because I would practice and practice and practice and practice until suddenly it became part of me. And I had to learn new tools because people would say to me, oh, well, public speaking, what you have to do is just imagine that nobody's there. And that didn't work. It was only when I would say, I want to be an instrument of peace, of love, that I would literally think about, I'm not important. What is important is that I want to give a gift to other people. And again, when I got out of my own way, moral leadership, and didn't think about, was this making me more famous? Was this making me look good? Instead was, am I offering a gift that will enable other people to act, other people to understand, other people to feel seen and have more dignity? Then I lost my fear. Fear holds too many of us back. And in this moment of too much fear, there's a chance for each of you to shine in big ways and in small ways. What matters is that you practice your shine, that you keep stepping forward, that you keep in mind not only that you are part of something bigger than yourselves, but that life has its greatest meaning and freedom when you dare to commit to something a lot bigger than yourself. So make that commitment to the values of Amal, to one another, to the dreams that you have, and just start. Practice moral imagination. Learn how to listen, not just with your ears, but with all parts of yourself. Inside each of you is infinite wisdom, infinite possibility. And I dream of that wisdom and possibility being unlocked, brought out in the world so that you, in turn, can unlock and bring it out in others. Because if I have learned one thing in my life, it is that we do not get dignity as a human race until every one of us has dignity. So Godspeed, good luck, and do one thing. Give back more to the world than you take from it. Bless.
There's a very famous saying that if you want to go fast, then you should go alone. But if you want to go far, then take people with you. And that's exactly the value that the PepsiCo Amal Youth Program would like to inculcate in their students. There's a component called the Mega Projects, which is all about learning the value of social inclusion and impact. Each time you're divided in batches of 7 to 8, and then they take up multiple projects. They look at a problem which they feel passionately about and try to design a solution and implement the solution to the best of their abilities. ये मेगा प्रोजेक्ट्स इन स्टूडेंट्स को ये सिखाते हैं कि ज़िंदगी के किसी भी मोड़ पे you have the ability to make the impact and you can bring about positive change. तो आइए let's take a look at this journey of these multiple mega projects, how they were designed, how they took off, because this year there was that double whammy of the COVID-19. तो जितने ideas सोचे थे, solutions सोचे थे, they had to go back to the drawing board. But let's see what impact did they have on the students and on the communities that they were planning to serve.
Hello fellows, our esteemed guests and everyone watching us online. I am Abbas, particularly for the fellows who have been watching me a lot in their online courses. Guess what? मैं फिर आ गया. I want to talk about something very close to my heart, the mega projects. The mega projects are 2-month-long projects undertaken by our fellows to return back to the community through social impact and social entrepreneurship, and also to practice many of their skills that they have freshly developed in the fellowship itself. Over the last 2 semesters, our fellows have delivered 237 projects and have impacted more than 10,500 individuals. Over the last 2 years, our fellows have delivered 615 such projects and have impacted more than 25,000 individuals throughout the country and across more than 10 cities. While it's almost impossible for us to show you all of that impact, we have still gathered some highlights to help you visualize some of the beauty behind this work. One of my favorite projects is called What's Up Beach? It's a project by our fellows from Karachi, batch 113. These fellows love marine animals. They ran awareness and cleanliness drives on Karachi's beach, and they were able to engage more than 225 volunteers from universities and their colleagues. They were also able to clean a beach area of more than 3 kilometers, and their efforts were covered by national television. When coronavirus started, a lot of families lost their incomes. Our fellows delivered projects like Rabrazik, Pukar and Nusra, and by these 3 projects, they were able to provide financial relief and essential goods to these families. They raised more than 1.7 million rupees and provided relief to more than 3,300 individuals. Lastly, through a project named Armored Women by Batch 137, our fellows focused on providing virtual self-defense training to women by a certified martial artist. Our fellows registered 100 women and engaged with a maximum of 250. They were able to train 65 women in self-defense through this program. For our fellows, I hope you can internalize all of this beautiful work and let it transform into your khudi. There's a small story that I've heard and that I've shared a lot. There's a small bird and there's this huge forest that's on fire. The bird takes a small drop of water from the ocean and drops it on top of that fire. There's this someone looking at all of that, laughing. He says to the bird, "Why are you doing this? It's not going to make a difference." To which the bird replies and says, "I'm doing my bit." It warms my heart to see our fellows doing their bits so beautifully and so perfectly. Dear fellows, thank you for making all of this magic possible.
आज के यंग ग्रेजुएट्स का करियर ग्राफ लुक्स रियली एक्साइटिंग एंड इंटरेस्टिंग. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि वो ग्रेजुएट करते ही किसी एक इंडस्ट्री, किसी एक फील्ड को परस्यू करेंगे एंड दे विल स्पेंड देयर लाइफ विद इट. कई सर्वेज इस तरफ पॉइंट आउट करते हैं कि आने वाले दिनों में these young graduates can actually work in 5 to 8 different industries और ये 10 से 12 मुख्तलिफ कंपनीज के लिए काम करेंगे। तो सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि क्या हमारा तालीमी निज़ाम हमारे नौजवानों को इस आने वाली वर्कफोर्स और हमारे लीडर्स को इस चैलेंज के लिए तैयार कर रहा है? आर दे रियली प्रिपेयरिंग देम इन टर्म्स ऑफ एजिलिटी, लीडरशिप skills, and of course all the other skills that come with it? And more importantly, what role can programs such as the PepsiCo Amal Youth Program play in value addition, in further grooming and supporting this? तो आज ज़रा इस डिस्कशन में शामिल करते हैं हमारी एकेडेमिया और हमारी इंडस्ट्री को, so really understand what their expectations are. हमारी आज की इस डिस्कशन में हमें ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं द वाइस चांसलर ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन लाहौर, डॉक्टर तलत नसीर पाशा। आप ही के साथ तशरीफ़ रखते हैं द सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट एट द EFU जनरल इंश्योरेंस मिस्टर इमरान यासीन, एंड लास्ट बट डेफिनेटली नॉट द लीस्ट हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं द प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर ऑफ कॉन्फिज मोहम्मद अवैद। लेट्स डाइव राइट इनटू इट। सबसे पहला सवाल अगर डॉक्टर साहब मैं आपसे करूं, जो ये चैलेंज है एजुकेशन के लिए कि आने वाली दुनिया में नित नई तब्दीलियां हैं और उसके लिए आज जो आप तालीम दे रहे हैं इन ग्रेजुएट्स को तैयार करना है, ये कितना एक्साइटिंग चैलेंज है या आपको इसमें नज़र आता है कि प्रॉब्लम्स हैं हमारे लिए?
ये डेफिनेटली इट्स अ चैलेंज, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ वी सी कि इट्स अपॉर्चुनिटी आल्सो फॉर वर्किंग विद आवर स्टूडेंट्स, एंड लकीली आवर जो फैकल्टी है दे आर वेरी वाइब्रेंट एंड दे नो व्हाट द मार्केट डिमांड्स आर, कैसे हमने लेके चलना है। और इसके साथ साथ हम बिसाइड एजुकेशन या उनकी डिग्रीज़ के, द गुड थिंग इन द यूनिवर्सिटी सिस्टम आर द सोसाइटीज़ एंड क्लब्स, जिसमें स्टूडेंट्स इंडिपेंडेंटली काम करते हैं, टीचर्स उनको मॉनिटर कर रहे होते हैं, देख रहे होते हैं। तो डेट एड लॉट ऑफ वैल्यू टू देयर सॉफ्ट स्किल्स। जो मार्केट डिमांड्स हैं उसमें उनके टीम बिल्डिंग्स आ जाती हैं, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग आ जाती हैं, एंड बच्चों में टैलेंट बहुत ज़्यादा है।
एब्सोल्युटली। इमरान, आप क्या समझते हैं? क्या आपको लगता है कि यंग ग्रेजुएट्स कम इन विद अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशंस और उनको खुद नहीं पता होता कि उनको क्या चाहिए लाइफ में?
They lack the soft skills. Definitely, I was also have taught in Punjab University or University of Management Technology Lahore and various other institutions. But I have observed that universities are only teaching their hard skills, qualifications, studies. You will have to manage how accounting, but how to manage the people is the important question. When you are doing job, when you are appearing in the interview, you will have to observe what your employer wants from you and how you will sell yourself to your employer.
यानी आपको एक लीडर बनने से पहले एक अच्छा टीम प्लेयर होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। अवैध, सिंस यू हैंडल प्रोजेक्ट्स एज वेल, और ये बहुत सारे ऐसे टेक्निकल प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं जिसमें बड़ी बड़ी टीम्स रिमोटली साथ काम कर रही होती हैं, ऐसे काम के लिए जो आज की काम की नौयत ये एक हकीकत बन चुकी है, इसमें अच्छे इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स होना कितना अहम है?
I think I'll start off from the point that people don't have the realization that they really need to focus on soft skills. Coming back to the academia, what stops students to go in, debating societies? What stops them from doing internships? And when they come into the industry, they see that project managers are always telling them that, how to negotiate, how to communicate, how to talk. And the industry is trying, of course, but the realization needs to start with students, and that needs to start on the academia level, rather than when they come into the industry, they realize that, well, what happened?
Imran, आप क्या कहेंगे when young people come for an interview और आप उनका रेज्यूमे देखते हैं और हर चीज़ में आपको नज़र आता है कि टॉपर ज़बरदस्त मार्क्स हैं, ज़बरदस्त परफॉर्मेंस है, एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस, लेकिन जब पर्सनली फेस टू फेस आप उनसे मिलते हैं तो आपको बच्चा unimpressive लगता है. What goes on in your mind at that time?
We have asked from them 3 questions. So most of the time they lose their temperament.
अच्छा.
हाँ, और जो हमने पर्सनली ऑब्जर्व किया है कि उसके वो पाँव काँप रहे होते हैं उस वक्त, कॉन्फिडेंस उसके अंदर होता नहीं है. ठीक है, पीछे से एक्सरसाइज करके वो आ रहा होता है और वो मोस्टली जो वो एक्सरसाइज कर रहा होता है, इट इज़ only based on their studies. कि उसने वहाँ क्या पढ़ा है. When you are appearing in front of us, you must know that कि यार हम इंटरव्यू देने जा रहे हैं, ठीक है, हमारी बॉडी लैंग्वेज क्या होना चाहिए, वो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन दे कैन आस्क फ्रॉम अस, ठीक है. हमने जो पढ़ा है वो तो उसका नॉलेज तो वो तो क्वेश्चन करेंगे. मतलब मुझे वो बचा नहीं चाहिए कि जिसका 3.85 CGPA. आई वांट अ पर्सन के जो प्रेशर को बर्दाश्त कर सके,
सही,
स्ट्रेस को मैनेज कर सके, उसके अडेप्टेबिलिटी हो.
कॉमन एग्जांपल मैं आपको दूं कि जितने भी क्रिएटिव इंडस्ट्री से ताल्लुक़ रखने वाले लोग हैं, उनको आप अपना काम करने दें, अपनी धुन में मगन, उस काम से इश्क भी है, चाहे वो फोटोग्राफी हो, वेब डिज़ाइनिंग हो. लेकिन जहाँ कोई अथॉरिटी आ जाती है, जहाँ कोई क्लाइंट आ जाता है या बॉस आ जाता है जो उनको ये बताए ये ऐसे नहीं ऐसे रिक्वायरमेंट है, प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट पे फोकस करो, क्रिएटिविटी के भी एक पैरामीटर के अंदर लेके आओ, तला साहब दैट्स वेयर दे फेस अ प्रॉब्लम. यानी एक बहते दरिया की तरह उनको छोड़ दें तो सब कुछ ठीक है. जहाँ आपने उनको फीडबैक दी, जहाँ उनको गाइड किया बॉस ने या क्लाइंट ने, दे काइंड ऑफ लूज देयर टेम्पर. क्या कहेंगे आप?
आई फुली एग्री विद यू.
हाँ,
ऐसे बिल्कुल ऐसे है. और एज ए मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट, जैसे आपने पहले कहा कि मेजॉरिटी स्टूडेंट्स वो CGPA उधर ही उनका फोकस होता है.
सही.
और आगे क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स है बिसाइड CGPA, आगे जो उसकी ना प्रॉपर ट्रेनिंग होती है, ना उस किस्म के उनको चैलेंजेस ड्यूरिंग स्टडीज़ दिए जाते हैं कि जो जॉब की रिक्वायरमेंट है. तो और फिर ये भी है कि बच्चे उनका क्योंकि सारी सपोर्ट फैमिली कर रही होती है टीचिंग में. आपको अब्रॉड जाएं उधर तो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन में वो जाता है जिसके पास पैसे हैं, या वो कोई उसने लोन लिया है, या कोई वो फैमिली सपोर्ट वाला सिस्टम नहीं है, तो उसको उसकी वो वैल्यू भी नहीं होती.
अच्छा, एक मेरी पर्सनल ऑब्जर्वेशन है, मुझे लगता है कि हमेशा हम यंगस्टर्स को सक्सेस फार्मूलाज दे रहे होते हैं, हम उनको बता रहे होते हैं कि ज़िंदगी में कामयाब कैसे होना है, लेकिन वी डोंट टेल देम हाउ टू डील विद रिजेक्शन, विद फेलियर एंड डिसअपॉइंटमेंट. यानी आपने जो प्लान किया है अगर वो आपके मुताबिक ना चले तो क्या करें. अवैध, आई वॉन्ट टू आस्क यू, हैविंग स्ट्रॉन्ग सॉफ्ट स्किल्स, यानी जब आप में कॉन्फिडेंस हो, आपको अपने आप पे एतमाद हो, does that enable you to face rejection in the stride?
Well, definitely. When you know, if you know your brand, which means that you know what you are good at, and then you take risks, and even if you fail, you know that, okay, you had certain KPIs, you didn't meet them, you define action items, and you move forward and you come back even more strong.
Right. But what would be your biggest feedback to the academia, जहाँ आपको लगता है कि नौजवानों में ये स्किल नहीं डेवलप की जा रही कि फेलियर हो, रिजेक्शन हो, जो कि हम कहते हैं कि एक नया डिटूअर है, आपको आपकी मंजिल की तरफ ही लेके जा रहा है, उसको हाउ शुड दे टेक इट इन देयर मोटिवेशन, इन देयर स्ट्राइड?
अच्छा, उसके अंदर मेरा ये ख्याल है कि ये चीज़ अगेन ये पेरेंट्स से भी आती है, एकेडेमिया से भी अगेन आती है, और जो आपके लाइन मैनेजर्स होते हैं वहाँ से भी आती है, जो कि उन्हें समझाएं कि इवन इफ दे फेल इट्स ओके. ठीक है. द मेन आइडिया इज़ कि आप उससे सीखते क्या हैं, आपके लेसन्स लर्नड क्या हैं, और जो भी लेसन लर्नड हो उसको आगे अप्लाई करें. एंड ये हमेशा होता है, फेलियर्स होते हैं लाइफ में, और दैट्स हाउ लाइफ इज.
बट फेलियर शुड एक्चुअली प्रोपेल योर ग्रोथ एंड मेक यू मोर डिटर्मिन्ड. बहुत शुक्रिया अवैध, इमरान एंड डॉक्टर तालित फॉर बीइंग हियर विद अस. इट वाज सच अ कंस्ट्रक्टिव डिस्कशन एंड आई होप ऑल आवर व्यूअर्स हु वाचिंग अस ऑन आवर सोशल्स टुक अवे अ लॉट ऑफ सब्सटेंस एंड रीजन फ्रॉम दिस. इसी के साथ बढ़ते हैं हमारे अगले सेगमेंट की तरफ. Our next guest today has always been a big supporter of youth-driven initiatives. He's been a member of the National Assembly since 2018 and is a seasoned politician. He currently serves as the Federal Minister for Science and Technology in Pakistan. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Honorable Federal Minister, Mr. Fawad Chaudhry.
सबसे पहले तो आई वुड लाइक टू कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट दी 1600 स्टूडेंट्स जो आज ग्रेजुएट हो रहे हैं, और नाउ दे विल बी लुकिंग फॉर द न्यू हराइजन्स फॉर द इन देयर लाइफ एंड हाउ टू प्रोसीड फर्दर. सो सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूँ. दूसरी बात यह है कि इम्पॉर्टेंट ये होता है मेरे ख़्याल में कि आप ज़िंदगी में कितनी जल्दी फ़ैसला कर लें कि आपने क्या करना है। फ़ैसले मुश्किल होते हैं और फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल मैं जब 10th ग्रेड में था तो मैंने फ़ैसला किया कि मैंने वकील बनना है और पॉलिटिक्स करनी है, और उसकी एक वजह ये थी कि मेरी फैमिली में बहुत ज़्यादा या जजेस थे या पॉलिटिशियंस थे, सो आई ऑप्टेड फॉर दैट। एक फ़ैसला तो सबसे आसान आपको ये कर देगा कि आप वो करें जिसका आपको शौक़ है। कोई भी ऐसा काम नहीं करें जिसमें आपका दिल ही नहीं लगता। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल अगर आप इंजीनियरिंग से आपको शौक़ नहीं है और आप इंजीनियरिंग करना चाहते हैं तो आपकी सारी ज़िंदगी बहुत बोर गुजरेगी। और अगर आप डॉक्टर बनना चाहते हैं और डॉक्टरी से आपको कोई शौक़ नहीं है, यू आर नॉट रियली कीन, आप बड़े बोर होंगे। सो वो काम करें जिसमें आपको शौक़ हो। और अब तो अगर इवन आपको वीडियो गेम्स खेलने का शौक़ है तो वीडियो गेम्स बहुत बड़ा कैरियर है। सो जो भी आपको शौक़ है आप उसमें अपना कैरियर तलाश करेंगे, आपको वो फिर एक तो, और सबसे बड़ी फ्रीडम इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम है। आपने करना ये है कि बैलेंस करना है कि कहाँ पर आप इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम ले लें और अगर उसके साथ वो इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम लें उस कैरियर से जिसका आपको शौक़ है। रोज़ाना आप फ़ैसले लेते हैं, वो फ़ैसले सही भी होते हैं, गलत भी होते हैं। सो आप अपने फ़ैसलों के रिग्रेट में ज़िंदगी नहीं गुजार सकते। अगर आपका कोई फ़ैसला गलत हो गया है तो आप उसको तब्दील करने की सलाहियत होनी चाहिए, एंड देन यू शुड बी एबल टू एक्सेप्ट कि ये फ़ैसला गलत था और उसको बदलने की ज़रूरत है और फिर आप उसको चेंज कर सकें। दूसरी बात इम्पॉर्टेंट ये है मेरे ख़्याल में कि एक आपका आइडिया है, फिर आपका वर्केबल सलूशन है। आपने अपने आइडिया को वर्केबल सलूशन कैसे बनाना है, ये सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट काम है। और फिर रिस्क लेना जो है वो भी ज़िंदगी में ज़रूरी है। कोई काम, बड़ा काम तो कम अज़ कम कोई भी 100% रिस्क फ्री नहीं होता। फेलियर्स जो हैं वो पार्ट ऑफ लाइफ हैं और पार्ट ऑफ डिसीजन मेकिंग है। आप फ़ैसला करते हैं, उस फैसले को नतीजा वो नहीं निकलता जो आपने सोचा है। वी आर द 5th लार्जेस्ट नेशन ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। हमारी स्टैंडिंग वो नहीं है जो हमारी होनी चाहिए, एंड द रीज़न इज़ द ह्यूज एक्चुअली द प्रॉब्लम इज़ आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम। हमारे एजुकेशन सिस्टम में सबसे बड़ा जो प्रॉब्लम है वो ये है कि हमारी जो प्रैक्टिकल आई वुड से कि जो लिंकेज है वो नहीं है। हमारा सिलेबस जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा थ्योरेटिकल है और हमारी जो उसकी प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेबिलिटी है वो बड़ी कम है। सो सबसे पहले तो मैं जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं या जो भी यंगस्टर्स हैं उनसे ये दरख्वास्त करूँगा कि प्लीज़ डोंट लिमिट योरसेल्फ टू जो सिलेबस की किताबें हैं उन तक। अगर आप अपने होराइज़न को बड़ा करना चाहते हैं तो फिर आपको जो दुनिया के बड़े राइटर्स हैं उनको आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा। एक तो बात यह है कि ना सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट्स को बल्कि पॉपुलेशन को ये बड़ा चैलेंज है, जो स्पेशली कि आज जो नए बच्चे पैदा हो रहे हैं उनको पढ़ाएंगे क्या। ये जो इस वक्त एक बहुत बड़ी जॉब मार्केट जो है वो एलिमिनेट होगी और एक बहुत बड़ी नई जॉब मार्केट क्रिएट होगी। बच्चों को सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ सीखने की है, स्पेशली उन लोगों को जो भी अपना करियर शुरू कर रहे हैं, एडॉप्टेबिलिटी बड़ी इम्पॉर्टेंट होगी। सो हाउ यू विल अडॉप्ट द मॉडर्न ट्रेंड्स, मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजीज़ को आप कैसे ऑप्ट कर सकेंगे, ये डिटरमिन करेगी आपकी सक्सेस को। Also, I would like to thank PepsiCo and Amal and this joint collaboration. और जिस तरह मैं कह रहा था कि 30 साल में और कुछ चेंज हो ना हो, पेप्सी ने चेंज नहीं होना। पेप्सी जो है विल बी, आई होप कि इतनी ही मज़ेदार और ठंडी रहेगी जितनी अब है। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच वंस अगेन एंड थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी।
Congratulations.
Class of 2020.
So proud of you.
I'm sure you'll go and make us proud.
I was delighted to hear that 40% of you are women.
Go ahead and dream big. I am in awe of the steely determination that Amal Academy creates in you.
पेप्सी को अमल यूथ प्रोग्राम 2020 के ग्रेजुएटिंग बैच के लिए दिल से मुबारकबाद, बहुत सारी दुआएं और ढेर सारी नेक तमन्नाएं।
Congratulations to the PepsiCo Amal Youth Program's graduating class of 2020.
Congratulations.
This is your moment.
Representing 1,600 of her fellows is Mishal Kaukar. She's currently pursuing her degree in Management Sciences at the Punjab University, and her own personal motivation to join the PepsiCo Amal Youth Program came after she saw her friend grow through it and the impact it had on him. Other than the professional and the soft skills, the program really teaches the students how to strategize for future challenges. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on stage the valedictorian, Mishal Kaukar.
Dear friends, first of all, I congratulate you all on joining the prestigious fraternity of graduates. This is such a delightful moment in my life that I'm almost choked with emotion. And I'm sure you share the same feelings. Our session is unique in the history of Amal because we were the first ever to be trained as distance learners. And I'm sure that the Amal team also grew in the field of online teaching during this period, courtesy of COVID-19, of course. We might not be having our typical graduation this year. We might not be walking across the stage and grabbing that certificate. We might not be throwing our hats up or taking pictures with friends and family, but we are still graduating. Our hard work has not gone unnoticed. Our commitment, dedication, and determination still remain true. The quiet hours we spent studying and completing our online courses, the relentless loss of sleep as we finished our project works by pulling all-nighters, and also the happy tears we shed after getting done with our mega project presentations. Dear friends, right now, you might feel uncertain. You might feel lost and upset. But mark these words. COVID-19 and any such threat will not stand in the way of our hopes and dreams. Things will improve, and as they do, we will too. Thinking back positively at the disastrous effects of COVID-19 is just one of the positive things that I learned at Amal Academy. 12 weeks of intensive learning were packed with so many life-changing lessons that I cannot even hint about all of them in this short speech. But if I have to pick the most impactful learnings for myself, they would be to develop a mindset for lifelong learning and growth and the professional skills of getting hired. But I'm sure that every graduate has earned their own treasure from this fellowship. Dear fellows, here we stand of boundless freedom and potential, each to live a life that is solely our own. To achieve success, the definition of which is different for each one of us, we must strive every day to move forward. We will not always succeed immediately, but that is no matter. Because even to never succeed is not a failure. Only to give up without truly trying is. Today, we are all the same. We are all filled with hope. Though our paths might differ, we are all equal in that there are limitless possibilities before us, and those possibilities will remain limitless, so long as we choose to keep them so. Lastly, I want to thank, on behalf of all of us, everyone at Amal Academy, who worked so hard each day to make this fellowship a memorable experience for all of us. On a personal note, I want to thank Amal Academy for giving me this opportunity to represent all my fellow graduates on this occasion. Thank you and congratulations.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've all been eagerly waiting for. PepsiCo Amal Youth Program proudly presents the Class of 2020. What incredible energy! This indeed was our class of 2020, the graduates, and wonderful words of encouragement as messages for our graduates. But each of our students would love to share their experiences with you. So if you'd like to learn more about their stories of transformation, you can click on the link below. But this is it for tonight. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening. Congratulations, PepsiCo and the Amal Academy. This is your host, Sidra Iqbal, signing off. Take good care of yourself. Khuda Hafiz.